These next two gentlemen I want to bring on this stage are traditional business entrepreneurs at its finest. They're husbands, they're dads, they've seen their ups and downs in the traditional business, but you know what? They finally saw the light, and they saw the light with ASEA. Please welcome to the stage to tell their story, David Hay and Justin Phillips.
Hello! Welcome, thank you very much. It's a great privilege and a pleasure to be here on the big stage. And to have us so early in the day is absolutely amazing. How great is Christina? Thank you so much, Christina. Let's give her a round of applause. Yeah. Love your story, thank you so much. Okay, so David and I have the privilege of talking to you about some of the benefits of network marketing compared to traditional business models. So I'm guessing a bunch of you in the room have been in business. Who's been in business before, traditional business? Fantastic. And I'm sure many of you are here not just for the life-changing products of ASEA, but also for the dream of time and money freedom, yeah? Who wants time and money freedom? Is that the most excited you are about it? Yeah! Who wants time, money, freedom? I want it, I got it! I love it. It's unexplainable how amazing it is. And it's a beautiful thing for people to have abundance. Just PS, you guys at the back, the timer isn't on. If we could get the timer, that'd be great. Keep us on time, keep us on track, that'd be great. So, some real life lessons in business. Yes. So David, you and I have had some interesting times, haven't we?
Yes.
Tell us about yourself and your journey.
All right. As many of you knows me from last year, I started my career as a professional dancer, then I retired. I'm going to fast forward a bit. So when myself and my wife Karen moved back from Hong Kong to Australia 2005, we had nothing to start in this country. Everything's new, so we start, have ideas that why don't we start doing some small business? There's a lot of people here want to do. So we purchased a franchise business. It's a cafe business. That's about 2008. And for the next 10 years, the 9 years until 2017, we had about 3 cafes. We sold a couple of them. We had one left. That was from 2012. We had 1 big cafe, and we thought we have the life of our dream. We can start going everywhere, having holiday. But I'm just going to tell you that what my actually life is in the cafe for the past 8 years. So I basically have to get up 5:30 in the morning, get ready to be in the cafe 6 o'clock. By the time I get to the cafe, I need to start turning on the coffee machines and start look at the clock because my chef is usually late 5 days a week. I'm gonna start calling him, yell at him. He gets here, he's not very happy. He starts yelling me back, and all this. I'm gonna have to get the food ready, get the stove ready, get the toaster warmed up. Then by 7 o'clock, 7:30, usually the first customer comes in. Then for the next 5 hours, we're gonna make 560 coffees a day average to actually, to probably break even. Then we try to make some eggs benedict and make some pancakes and all this. And usually by 4 o'clock afternoon, we do a shift turn because we're doing nighttime trade. We're gonna get the night shift comes in. We're gonna get the cocktail list ready, get everything ready. So by the time we finish serve the last dinner will be about 10:30. And after pack up, usually about 11:30, I get home 12 o'clock, and so on. And so usually it takes me about half an hour to get home. By the time I get home, it's about 12:30. Get ready to go to sleep about 1 o'clock in the morning, and wake up 5:30 again every day. So that's pretty much what I have went through for the past 5 years. Yeah, and literally why. One day I was sitting in the cafe with a friend, and he said, I want to see some of your photos for the past, from before, because he's just one of the regular customers. Then I said, look, just check my Facebook. And he started looking at my Facebook, and he said to me, and he's actually one really good friend of mine, he's a personal trainer. He goes, Dave, I realized I couldn't find any photo of you with your family from 2007 all the way to 2015. You had no photo in your Facebook with you and your family. So I'm just sitting there, I was sipping my coffee with him. I was like, you know, I just clicked me. I'm like, what? And then I start looking at all my Facebook photos. I was like, you're right, I only found maybe 5 to 10 photos of myself with my families. And I realized that the best time with myself and my family, my kids, are just completely gone. And I have no physical or photo memories of me spending time with my kids. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I need to actually get out of this. I need to actually stop doing what I do. And luckily, that was about 6 months before that happened. A gentleman called Richard Lee tapped on my shoulders in the shopping center and introduced this business called Sia. And I was already on the track to start doing this business. So that by 2016, I decided to sell my cafes and to actually start doing some what I call real business. Yeah.
Real business! So David, it sounds like you pretty much bought a job, but worse than a job.
Yeah.
You worked harder.
Yeah.
Didn't get paid as much.
70 hours a week. Hardly get paid anything after. Everybody gets paid first. You know?
Exactly. So my story was I've been mainly self-employed and entrepreneurial for most of my life, and definitely interested in health and well-being because that was part of my health journey as well, and looking for solutions. And I bought my dream business, and it was a franchise as well, thinking it was a stable business, it was ongoing, and it had 7 staff, had 11 subcontracted practitioners. We turned over close to $1 million, had $120,000 worth in product, and I thought that was the ideal way to be in business and provide holistic healthcare to people. And I had the same experience. I bought myself a job. I worked really hard. At least one night a week, I would walk out of the shop. The whole shopping centre would be black. I'd walk out the doors. The only car in the car park was the cleaner, and I'd get home about 11 o'clock. And so I was just working. It was ridiculous. It didn't work for me. But the real crisis hit when a global financial crisis came along, and that wiped me out. It didn't matter how much I worked, how hard I worked, I could not save that. And sometimes you need to, I believe we need to make decisions for the long term, and things are not always in our control unless we create it. Best way to secure your future is to create your future. So yeah, we turn to a different style of business. Exactly. 5 key differences for network marketing that we want to point out today. 1 is the cost of business, the overheads and so forth. 2 is the prerequisites to operate your business. 3 is the lifestyle. 4, business results, what actually occurs and what's the outcome of that. And 5, the work environment and cultural differences between traditional and network marketing business. So, traditional businesses, what was your property cost like? You want to go through the...
Yeah, well, I used to, I had the couple of cafes I had was actually in shopping center. So the rent was possibly around $8,000 to $10,000 per month. And they, at the beginning, I didn't actually look into all these big pictures. And along the years, I started looking at all the figures. I realized, although I worked 70 hours per week, week in, week out for 5 years, and pretty much 50% of that money is going to go to the landlord, which is the shopping center. And I realized that's not what I intend to do in the business. So yeah.
Likewise, for me, it was about $250,000 a year just in rent and wages. So the human resource side of it, the cost of recruiting and training, as a business owner, we have to wear, as a traditional business owner, we wear a lot of hats. And that's quite difficult, and you're trying to do a lot of different jobs all at once. Setup costs and shop fits. To shop fit my health fit shop was around $250,000. And so that's a significant investment. I put my life savings and everything I could borrow into that business. I needed $300,000 to get that business going, just to start. Compare that to $60 in a year, okay? What's the risk factor? And what about red tape? Isn't that your favourite part, David?
Yeah, well, as a traditional business owner small business owner in this country, I think a lot of you actually be aware how strict the compliance, everything in this country for fair works and everything. And one of my very experience I had was once I was telling this girl, she was getting about 20-something up per hour making coffee, and all I said to her, look, I think you need to work hard and to actually make yourself more valuable, and because we're having a lot of customers. And she started crying, she started lodged a complaint to Fair Work saying I'm actually an abuser. But anyway, so I was sitting there and said, where I come from, you get paid and you work for the business owner. That's why you get paid for it. So you actually work for him. And she turns around and said, no, I don't work for you. I was like, okay, and so on, but I don't want to go to details. So that's just like, then when I come to a see, I'm like, oh yes, $60, so you get this beautiful website, and then you start, you don't call that investment, and you work for yourself, and you work for the people. Sometimes I go around my team, and my team people says, oh, everybody's telling me this, and complaining. So I said, this is not complaining. I mean, if you do a traditional business, then you see that's called complaining. Yeah. So like where I come from, this business is yeah.
So the setting up costs is far less, but it's not just that. It's the cost of time, money, and resource. And this business model is phenomenal compared to traditional business. So prerequisites to operating a business. How many of you that haven't been in business before as here always wanted to own your own business? Yeah. And some of you, did you find that the actual being able to have the certifications, have the requirements, have all the things in place in order to have the business, what stopped you? It's very, very expensive. So sometimes licensing can be difficult, particularly in Australia. We need a certificate to do pretty much anything now. Many of people that come from overseas, their qualifications overseas don't count to operate in Australia as well. And then when you have that business, you're responsible for so many things. Logistics, financial payments, manufacturing, quality control. There's all these background things. And what I think many people, unless they've been through this kind of experience, most people don't value enough partnering with a great company like SIA and leveraging off the manufacturing and all of the processes that they have in place, the logistics, the financial control side of it, the compensation plan, the technology and the equipment that they have that we can use. We don't have to own it. We don't have to maintain it. We don't even have to understand it. Isn't it good? We don't always have to be great at structures and systems, but we get to leverage it and use it. That's phenomenal.
Absolutely. Yep.
So, lifestyle. You want to talk about? Well, we already covered that. Your life is pretty tough.
Yeah. Well, one part I want, the lifestyle is just from there to there. It's like I can tell you, probably my wife Karen's there, and we, from 2010 to 2016, I actually counted my total days, and that was actually less than 20 days for 5 years. And so I had because the shopping center, most shopping strip now open 7 days, and even on the 1st of January you open. And so we have to, I'll basically work about 363 days, and you had about a day on Christmas, Christmas Day, and you had the Easter, so that's pretty much 2 days off.
Me too.
Yeah, 2 days. And so when I come into this business, and at the beginning, like everybody else, I worked really hard. Then eventually last year the momentum started kicking in. I'm like, oh yes, come on man, I'm finally have Christmas break. I had like 4 weeks doing like literally just do what I want to do. I actually went to the place I want to go, and that was like I played like 20 golf games. I'm like, this is amazing. I've never actually played. I played like 2 golf games in 5 years' time doing a cafe business. It's ridiculous, but yeah,
it is ridiculous. So I had the same thing. I was finding I was very, very fit when I started my business, and by the end of it, I was not. Lifestyle was greatly impacted by work. Working too much doesn't equate to happiness. And lifestyle can't be underestimated, in my opinion. I think, like we saw from yesterday from Tyler, happiness is not about how much money you have. It's that balance of life and challenge and skill. And it's not just in the work and career arena. It's in family arena, relationships. It's in like hobbies and other social groups and personal development. I remember I tried to do a 3.5 day course, and it took a year and a half before I could do it. My business actually failed. I shut the doors, and then I could do it the following weekend because I couldn't get 3 days off in a row for a year and a half. And so just be grateful for what we've got here. I broke my arm, being a little bit silly, reliving in my youth. I was riding a motorbike, smashed my arm 10 weeks ago, did a really good job of it, crushed the joints. I've had 2 months off pretty much. A couple of phone calls, a couple of Zooms. But if I was in a situation where I had to be in the shop serving customers, I don't know what I would have done. So yeah, the benefits are just enormous. So, Your network's also growing. We talked about this.
Yeah.
Get in the rat race when you're in traditional business. In network marketing, how many of you have got new friends? Christina talked about this. Friends all over the world. It's awesome. I've stayed in houses all over the world now. You know, it's a fantastic thing too. And that, you can't buy that experience. You can't buy things like that. You can't buy an experience where your team goes with you to Vanuatu, like Reach for the Beach, or Ascent in Mexico, and you're hanging out in a resort with a bunch of people that you're all like-minded. You can't buy that. You earn it. You earn it through a business like this. It is a wonderful, beautiful thing. And how good is residual income for families? And someone might get sick, your kids are sick, and that day you don't have to go to the office. You can stay home, you can look after them, you can cook soup when the wife's not well. That's pretty rare, but you know. Or it's more like when she rolls off her tall shoes and does her ankle or something. That's the truth. Okay, so business results. So yeah, you talked a lot about the bills get paid first, right?
Yeah, well, basically, we had a phone call before this last week about this presentation. So Jason was asking me about the results of the debt, everything. So I was telling him that after 5 years, after almost 8 years of running cafe, I was in debt for $500,000, $500,000. I sold my business. I was cut. My loss is $500,000. I was like, oh my God! I still own that, half of that. But thanks, CI, actually getting my life back and getting my debt consolidated, and it's getting improved a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. 6.5 years ago, I was dying and bankrupt. That was the result of me owning my dream business, a health food shop. So, chalk and cheese. Employees as well. Sometimes you want to pay really good employees more than what their position is worth, and that's not fair for them. But in network marketing, we get rewarded for our efforts. And in our compensation plan and with the CR, the income is actually infinite. It's like, how hard do you want to work? Match your goal to your work effort. It's totally possible. Okay, so just a few quick facts. In 2018, the number of startup traditional businesses in Australia is actually down. It is getting harder and harder for traditional businesses to succeed in Australia. Some interesting facts about direct sales, on the other hand, is 25 years of consistent growth, up 57% in the last 5 years. 190 billion in global industry and sales in 2017. That's 190 US dollars billion. That's a lot of money. 500,000 people enrolling globally each week in network marketing. So, you know, I'm sure you've spoken to some people and you kind of feel like, we're the freaks. Who are the smart ones? Really? Right? So, currently less than 1% of the world's population involved. So not many people know about this, really. Network marketing companies are the second highest performing stock category on the US stock exchange. But I would suggest you don't want to be a part of a publicly listed network marketing company, because then it's all about the money. You want to be part of a legacy company that's privately owned by awesome founders. Legacy R! 2014, yeah, I'm super grateful too. Amazing opportunity for women. So 90% of women in the US in 2014 that earned 6 figures or more did it in network marketing. Interesting. Hey girls. Australian Direct Sales Association statistics. So the direct DSA stands for Direct Sales Association. Member companies achieve 1.38 billion in annual sales. Around 576,000 independent salespeople engaged as associates and members. Women account for 74% of the direct sales force in Australia. Wellness products account for 24%, and cosmetic and personal care products account for 25%. And we've got both of those categories. It's nice. Now, hopefully you've all seen this in your back office. In the VO library, this is now the income disclosure statement. And it is based on global figures, but these are in Australian dollars. You can see you don't need to be an Ambassador Diamond to improve the quality of your life, improve the quality of your income, pay for a few extra things that you've been desiring or your family needs. And it really is achievable. That's in your VO, so you can download that as a PDF. But this is my favorite, difference number 5, work environment and cultural differences. So, in a traditional business model, it is a pyramid, hierarchical structure. We love our pyramids, but most people don't understand what a real pyramid is. And when you're at the bottom of a pyramid in a corporate, you're never going to get to the top. Doesn't matter where you are in a company like ours, the harder you work, you can get to the top. Top person in the SEA is not at the top of the tree. We all get to build our own pyramids, and they're the strongest shape in architecture, in geometry, right? That's fantastic. So it's also competitive work environment. When you're in a corporate, people underneath you, you're worried about them taking their job. People above you, they're like trying to undercut you so you don't take their job. Very competitive. Limited expensive training. We have free or low cost training. There's abundant training. It's absolutely amazing. And many times corporate is very static and network marketing is very empowering. It's about helping and teamwork, lifting other people up. So this business model really does give people the ability to be free. And this is my favorite part about it. Network marketing is an industry of hope, help, and cooperation instead of competition, where people are rewarded for helping others achieve their own goals. So believe, belong, become. Our conclusion is, we have the best business in the world!
Exactly!
Yay!
Yes. Just we're a bit over time, but totally agree with Justin. If you find a friend and if you go to a cafe, if you see small business owner these days, and just say, please say to him, look, this is my business card. We have this business. It's going to help you to improve your lifestyle. It's going to take you beyond where you can imagine. And if he doesn't accept, that's fine. Just that's my mission. I'm just trying to liberate all the business owners. I'm like, but why don't you want to do this business? Why do you want to spend 70 hours?
Have some compassion. Talk to a business owner. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. See ya.
Thank you, David. Thank you, David Justin, for reminding us that you can have the lifestyle you desire.